Opportunities don't happen, you create them. Chris Grosser. How did we end up the week? Well, everything up but bonds at the end of the week. Now, that is just on Friday. We'll talk about where the week is in each individual chart, work our way from the S&P through the NASDAQ 100, 20-year bonds, gold, and wrap up with Bitcoin. We have a slowdown in the down movement this week. Lots of indecision. Pretty much a doji at the end of the week as far as our Heikin Ashi candlestick goes. Price percent oscillator still moving down. Derivative oscillator still moving down. That's our big chart, our big mover. Still lots of downward pressure. Still see downward pressure on the 2-day also. We had things bottom out last Tuesday. That would be the 25th of January. And then sliding sideways, popping up. We saw that occur on the Tuesday-Wednesday candle of this week. Then, of course, we ended Thursday and Friday with a red spinning top. That's an open box, so a slowdown in the up movement. Consequently, price percent oscillator's flat, derivative oscillator negative, losing downward momentum. That price percent oscillator is still negative. Half day, we saw several days of up movement, then blew through the half-day trend line, heading down for 2 days. That started on Thursday morning. Ended up on Friday with a green spinning top, green open box spinning top, very small one. Price percent oscillators positive and flat, derivative oscillators positive and losing upward momentum. So overall, still weight pushing down. Now, what did we see happen at the end of the day or throughout the day on Friday, end of the week on the Qs? Up 1.226%. As we watched what happened over the course of the week, we ended up with a solid green spinning top. Again, that's indecision. Still a lot of downward push there. Price percent oscillator heading down. Derivative oscillator heading down. On the 2-day, we see about the same thing as we saw with the S&P. Pop up on the Tuesday, Wednesday candle, and then things slowing down on the Thursday. Friday, price percent oscillator is flat, negative, derivative oscillator negative, losing downward momentum. Half day, we see that same 1.5 day slide and trying to recover some there in the afternoon. Price percent oscillator flat, derivative oscillator almost negative. So again, still lots of downward momentum and push on stocks. Let's leave stocks, go to bonds. What do we see there? Bonds down for the day 1.47%. Remember we had that weekly vertical crossover back on the 7th of January, the week ending then. It had been preceded many days earlier in late December by the 2-day crossover going down. And of course, things went down nice and strong for 2 weeks and then slowed down the week ending the 28th of January. Well, they started moving down again on this week, and we see the price percent oscillator kicking over, going down at a steeper angle, derivative oscillator gaining downward momentum. 2-day chart. We can see where things heated up in that down movement on the Thursday, Friday candle. Consequently, that price percent oscillator kicking over. Derivative oscillator that had been positive for 4 days flipped over to negative. So again, downward pressure going in the right direction with that weekly vertical crossover hitting a lower low, which is good to see. Half day. Again, we can see where this half day chart rotated over at the end of the day on Thursday, and we need to consequently change our candle, or rather follow these candles with our trend line on the half day. So heating up with down movement on bonds. Again, that weekly vertical crossover doing nice. Now let's go to gold. What's up with gold? Thought we might have a weekly vertical crossover going down at the end of the week. We got a nice red down candle, but that didn't happen. Derivative oscillator still holding on to some positivity. Price percent oscillator is too. It refused to cross, was looking like that at the beginning of the week. Gave us a red down candle. No wick on top, wick on the bottom. And again, that price percent oscillator just won't cross yet. 2-day, of course, I messed that up when I moved it around. It crossed over going down back on the 31st. And then did what? Just sort of spinning tops. A green one to begin with and a red one since then. Did we hit a lower low? No, we have not. Price percent oscillator heading down. Derivative oscillator heading down. So, of course, we're not in gold with the 2-day down and the weekly up. We do see that the half day is continuing to, again, slide upward. It has slid up and dropped off, and now it's trying to gain up a little more. Again, not up much for the day, 0.15%, but struggling along. So no trade in gold right now with the weekly and the 2-day working against each other. We'll continue to watch and see where gold goes. I really want it to take off. And if we have a 2-day recross going up over this next week, might be an opportunity for us to jump in, or that weekly could cross over in the direction of the 2-day and go down. That's why we say there's indecision. We don't know which way it's going to go. We're going to let the charts tell us, and when they tell us, we can then use that information to enter into our practice trades. Lastly, we'll go to Bitcoin. Booming back up today, 7.18%. How did that affect the overall week? Well, we have a green spinning top. We saw the week developing that way. Price percent oscillator has lost some of its downward momentum. Derivative oscillator losing some downward momentum on that weekly chart. That's good to see. What do we see on the 2-day? We have a green open box spinning top. Really the most decent green candle that we have seen since the last one that we saw before just after Christmas on the week ending the 28th of December. Price percent oscillator still negative, but heading up. Derivative oscillator losing downward momentum. Has Bitcoin bottomed? That would be great, but there's still lots of downward pressure there, particularly on the weekly. We'll wait, watch, and see how it leads us. When we look at the half day, of course, we can see where Bitcoin gave us 2 days of down movement intra-week. That was Wednesday and Thursday. And then on Friday, it got a little kick and popped itself up. So we'll continue to follow Bitcoin as we always do. The whole crypto space was heading up in a lot of ways on Friday. I mean, we see Ethereum a booming 18.71%. Grayscale Bitcoin, 13.52%. BITO, these are the Bitcoin futures, up 11.91. Bitcoin Valkyrie strategy, up 15.82. And Van Eck strategy up 11.95. Overall crypto market, this is the top 10 cryptocurrencies, booming up on Friday, 8.98%. Remember, this fund represents the top 10 cryptocurrencies as per market capitalization, as I like to say. In the entire crypto space, all the various supporting ETFs, which are industries in the crypto market, looking okay on Friday. It's nice to see things doing a little bit. You look overall, though, on that weekly chart, and you can still see all that baked-in weakness, but it's nice to see things recover for a day. And again, it takes a number of days to turn it all around. And when it starts turning around and investor sentiment changes overall, we'll be ready to jump on it. No gambling required. My friends, thanks so much for being with us. God bless you all. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.